Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater here with some news. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know what the hell's going on. I know they're trying to fix Star Trek. They're trying to make it edgier, make it more for millennials, I guess. But I don't quite know why they'd go this route by giving an animated comedy series 2 seasons over at CBS All Access to a writer from Rick and Morty. Because you're going to want to sit there and have Captain Kirk Spock. No, I can't do it. I can't even do it. Morty, I can't do. I should get somebody to do that who can actually do Rick and Morty thing. But anyway, they're boldly going where nobody wants them to go. Right? No one is asking for this. Star Trek is not something that does well in terms of spoof territory unless it's handled with some kind of love, i.e. the Orville. The Orville is a perfect parody of Star Trek because it still makes fun of it and adds in some dirty jokes, but still holds true to the ideals of what Star Trek espouses to be. That's why the show is so beloved after just a 13-episode season 1. Season 2, December 30. Really, Fox? December 30th? You bastards. Anyway, it says here, the Star Trek universe continues to grow at CBS All Access. The streamer is giving out an order for 2 seasons of a half-hour animated comedy series called Star Trek Lower Decks. Developed by Rick and Morty writer Mike McMahan, the series will focus on the support crew serving one of Starfleet's least important ships. Now, to that, I'd like to just draw attention to DC's Powerless, a series that NBC ran last year about people that had no powers that were developing new weapons and new technology for Wayne Tech as a way to be used against fighting supervillains. It was meant to, it was funny in its own right, but it failed after 1 season. In fact, they never even aired the last couple episodes of the show. So ultimately, it's just kind of like, this feels a lot like Powerless. Why would you do Star Trek Lower Decks? It's just people like fucking off down in like engineering. I guess what, like the IT crowd, but Star Trek. Okay, that could actually kind of work. Anyway, this will mark the first animated series on CBS All Access. It will be produced by CBSI Animation Productions, CBS Television Studios' new animation arm, along with Alex Kurtzman's Secret Hideout and Roddenberry Entertainment. Kurtzman and Heather Caden will executive produce along with Roddenberry Entertainment's Rod Roddenberry and Trevor Roth and veteran animation executive Katie Krentz. McMahan will also executive produce in addition to writing. Aaron Bayers, who brought McMahan to the project, will serve as co-executive producer. None of those names really matter. I just read them off because anyway. Now, the reason why they brought him in is to say Mike won our hearts with the first sentence, saying, "I want to do a show about the people who put on the yellow cartridge in the food replicator so a banana can come out the other end. His cat's name is Riker. His son's name is Sagan. The man is committed. He's brilliantly funny, knows every inch of every Trek episode, and that's his secret sauce. He writes with the pure, joyful heart of a true fan. As we broaden the world of Trek to fans of all ages, we're excited to include Mike's extraordinary voice." Okay, so the dude's these guy's a Trekkie. I'm totally on board with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. That's great. You want someone who is involved. Like Seth MacFarlane is a huge Trekkie. That's why the Orville works. Brendan Braga worked on Enterprise. He's a big Trekkie. That's why the Orville works. They know the nuts and the bolts and they're able to make it play out. This guy, his son's name is Riker, his cat's name is Riker and his son's name is Sagan. Okay, cool. Right? Like, I get it. The dude's a nerd. He writes for Rick and Morty. He's clearly a nerd. My fear for this type of show is that it's going to be edgy, but it's not going to be like what is it? Final Space on TBS, like edgy, where it mixes dark humor with existentialism and then also some edgy comedy. And it's really well done. If you haven't seen Final Space, check it out. But this one, I have a feeling, is going to be more like Rick and Morty, surface level pop culture references, maybe some deeper conversations to be had. But ultimately, it's just going to be a bunch of dudes sitting around like clerks going like, why is it that they get paid so much to be upstairs? What do they have that we don't have? And it's going to be a workplace comedy. Centered around the lower decks of one of the Federation's most or least important ships. Not even the most important, where there's actually some kind of, there's some kind of pressure to make sure things are running correctly. Like, oh, this is our flagship ship. This has got to be the one that works. Everything's going wrong, but at the end of the day, we have to make it work because it has to be the beacon for the Federation. Like, at the end of the day, it has to still work. This is like, at the end of the day, who cares? It's like, you know, it's like, hey, cool, like we're like the Excelsior's younger brother sort of thing. Like, you know, no one cares. That to me is not going to work out very well, because Star Trek having the bridge crew on one of the most important ships works, but then also talking the juxtaposition of the characters that are on the lower decks of that ship. If it was like, you know, the Orville works because it's not the most important ship of that Federation. I forget what it's called right now, but it is kind of a least, you know, a minimal importance exploration vessel, right, or research vessel. So that's how they operate. Okay, but that works. Still the bridge crew of a least important ship. So you have important people, least important vessel. This is least important people, least important vessel. What's the joke? What's the joke? What's going to be the risk? What's going to be the you know, what's going to be the conflict? What's going to be the rush? What's going to have to get done? Oh, the admiral's coming. Got to make sure this works pretty well. Oh, jokes ensue, sort of thing. They seem to be on board with it. I will definitely check it out when it comes out. 2 seasons is a tall order for this sort of thing. They seem to be backing it pretty heavily. They want to definitely you know, they want to tap in to the millennials. Are going to definitely use quite a bit of Rick and Morty-esque humor in this to get that audience, because they have a very dedicated audience and they can mix Rick and Morty with Star Trek, which, I mean, if you look at the science in Rick and Morty and some of the questions about where we are in the universe and existentialism and things along those lines, it would be more in tune with Star Trek than it would be Star Wars. Because that's more, you know, it's space opera, space fantasy sort of thing. But still, I just don't see them crossing over in a way that's going to be doable. But hey, listen, I'm completely open to being wrong, and I hope that I am. But I leave it to you guys. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think that this is going to be a good show, a bad show, a dumb show? I want to know. Type in lower decks if you made it this far in the video. Be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe, and check back often for more content from me. My name's, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.